This is Brian here. I'm just going to quickly overview the document that's going to be attached to your email. This is the Strategic Investment Council for High Net Worth Individuals and Families. And this document is pretty much going to break down the concept of the team. This is an opportunity for you to make money by sharing your opinion, your professional and expert opinion, in your own style, the way you instinctively lead your vision for your own personal service within this greater service that we're collaborating to put together. Now, this is going to go over the purpose, the mission, and value proposition, my vision for it. It's important that you pay attention to this mission and value proposition section because this is how, this is ultimately how we make money, and I detail that more in technical terms in the latter pages of the document. But in terms of how we make money and why we make money, this is why we make money. We make money because of who we serve and what we serve. And so the value ultimately that we're delivering to ultra high net worth individuals is these individuals place a high value on their time. So this group of individuals, they don't mind paying, say, 1.6 million a year to have access to a team of consultants on standby, on retainer. And this is just for quick and readily available access. This is not round the clock kind of service. So that, with a team of about 9 consultants, that 1.6 million a year, it breaks down to about 15,000 a month, per 9 consultants. If we can achieve this with less people, then everyone, eats more, in the beginning. So we're not financial advisors. We're not offering financial advice. We're giving financial insight, although some professionals on our team will be licensed. And in that case, those individuals and specifically would be giving financial advice. So the collective firm is not a financial advisor, but individuals on the team, they'll have certain licenses, security licenses. I know we picked up a license myself, a Series 65, investment advisor law, representative license. And, so I do have a background in economics and client investment recommendations and strategies. I have a background in consulting. I didn't even introduce myself. I'm a business developer. I am a copywriter and content writer. I'm also a digital marketer. I'm a marketing strategist. I do a lot of different things, wear a lot of different hats. And I've also raised capital for startups myself and greatly assisted in that process. Team size, norms. So essentially, if you believe you can combine everything that I can teach you very quickly and listen and ask guided questions to discover investors' needs. We call those discovery sessions. We call that consultative selling. It's kind of like where consultative selling is we're not telling the client we're not telling the client what their problem is, and the client is not telling us what the project is. So the client's problem does not determine the project that we do. So the client comes to us with a problem. However, that might just be a symptom. That might not be the root cause of the problem. And so the way we work is we want to dive deep into what they feel is the root cause and dive deep and help them discover more about the solution to the problem. Because we're helping the client articulate their own situation, which makes us look like experts as well. And, like I said, the main value and why we make money with all of this is simply because the difference between wealth and poverty is the speed and quality of your information. So the faster you can get high quality information, the more powerful and wealthy you become. So by having readily available access to us, having a team of consultants on retainer, we are a very powerful solution. And this is just not something that people are doing or thinking about or really marketing actively. So I think this is a great opportunity especially with the fucking insane connections that I have, as well as um, the connections that many of you in my existing network have. Absolutely ridiculous, and many of us have mutual connections as well, which is beautiful. So these are some tools. You'll see performing quality assurance for clients, high return, detailed, based in reality, congruency, integrity. These are basically measures that we do, cornerstones, KPIs that we look for, determine a sound investment before we actually dive deep into it. So part of you being an expert is you knowing the questions. And by the way, this is just startup focused. We quality insurance. We're going to be doing many different things, but the process is always going to be the same. We're going to develop templates for the right questions to ask so that we save time, we save ourselves time, and we can speed up the fulfillment of the actual project and the payment process. We'll get paid for anything really performance heavy gets done at all. There'll be a little bit of light consulting in the beginning where it's not too heavy. It's just a discovery session, and this is for relationship nurturing processes. But also an aspect of nurturing a relationship is exchanging value, because business is not a hookup or a favor. Business is an exchange of value. So we're not going to be, just sitting around waiting on a client all day to pay us. That's absolutely not the case. The difference between a contact and a contract is the R in contract, which means relationships, right? You need a contract to solidify a relationship, especially a high level one. And that contract is paper. So value is definitely, going to be exchanged. I'm not going to have you guys, just waiting around all day to get paid. No, we define the project as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. And we decide if this is something that we want to take on. We approve our work. We're not order takers. Just because the client has us on retainer, we are not just taking orders. We're actually giving them, because we're the ones with the value and we're the ones with the solution to their problem. They're coming to us to have their problem solved. And there's really going to be no one doing this niche focused work quite like we are doing, the way we're going to do it, because it's the vision for this that separates us. And each of you, if you decide to join this, you're going to have your own vision for this. And as we add more people to the team, the vision, it changes and it shifts, and the goal might stay the same, but the vision and the aspiration, which is like the extended goals, like, okay, what can this be, and etc. So, not to spend too much time on this, but these are very important if you're serious about this opportunity to check out. These are the types of exit strategies for investor capital. And if you click on this, you'll bring up another document. This blue link right here, if you click on that, you'll bring up another document that goes into depth about exit strategies. Basically, an exit strategy is how an investment plans to return its original capital to its investor, as well as its returns. So what's your exit strategy for initial investment? What's your exit strategy for the combined investment, which is your principal investment plus your returns? And if you don't know any of this stuff, don't worry about it. You'll be around experts. People will be helping you, supporting you, and guiding you. Don't let any of this intimidate you whatsoever. So the feasibility study. So the final result that we're going to be delivering our clients: will it work? Can it work? Why? Asking all those essential questions. And these are different. This is an example of a feasibility template. And I'm going to bring this up real quick for learning purposes. And I did not intend for this video to be that long, but I feel, I pretty much go with my gut, and I feel like, what I'm speaking would be of value to some of you, would help clarify a few things. I got that lightning fast internet, by the way. So feasibility study, an analysis of a proposed project to determine whether it is feasible and should go ahead. Feasibility studies economic, technical, operational feasibility. So this is the final. This is kind of like a snapshot of the kind of template we'll be building out. Once we build this template, it'll be easy to duplicate similar services. But the fastest way that we're actually going to secure success with this is by working together as quick, setting the concept up, agreeing, coming together, and working together as quickly as possible for as many projects as possible. Uh, quick, fun fact: in the American Airlines, well, the airlines, the commercial aviation business did a study on commercial flight disasters, and they found that there was a significant decrease in disasters on planes involving flight crews that had flown together for many, many, many flights before. So, in other words, the experience of the crew members didn't really matter, like the individual experience. What ultimately mattered to the success of a safe flight was how long the crew on the plane had been working together, the experience of them working together, and the length of that experience, how many flights they did together. It didn't matter if the captain had 40 years of prior flight experience. He'd been flying since he was 8 years old. It doesn't matter if everybody on the team had a combined 1,000 years of flying experience. If that was their first day working together, that significantly increased the risks of a disastrous flight. The flight is safer when the team is used to operating with each other. Same study was conducted for surgeons, same findings. Same studies was conducted for basketball teams, same findings. The longer that basketball teams actually practice together, the better they do. It doesn't matter who's rookie of the year and who's getting ready to, retire in 3. The longer you play together, the longer you stay together, the longer you make it rain together. All right. So we won't go too deep into this. There's a lot of good gems in here. But just reading this alone, this is over $28,000 in information, courses and experiences, and a lot was actually spent and invested to achieve this knowledge. So just reading this alone, you guys will get significantly smarter if you decide that this is not something that you want to participate in. But what's important is, I almost skipped it. I was looking for it. How you get paid. So how we make money. So this is how money comes in. I'm very transparent with my processes. So it's not going to be anything that I'm hiding from you guys at all. I don't believe in that. I believe in team awareness as long as people are serious about making sure that the operation is successful. I don't mind being transparent about anything at all, and I encourage and invite any questions at all. Any questions or concerns, let me know, because that is what's going to make us sharper. It takes diamonds to cut diamonds, and part of being professionals is about being able to ask the right questions. It's really not so much about the answers, but we've got to know the right questions to ask. That's what provides, because if we can't do that for ourselves, then we can't do that for our clients. So our ultimate value is to eliminate uncertainty. And so if we can't do that amongst each other, then we're not going to be able to do that out in the field, of course. So this is what happens when you take on a project. The types of projects are up here. These are 5 phases of what happens, what pretty much our business processes, what happens with the client. Hey, discovery, which is where it's a soft case interview. We're understanding what the symptoms are and what the potential root cause of the problem might be. Then we pre-plan the project, reverse engineer. And in this pre-planning process, this is where we're coordinating with each other to decide who will be the project leader for this project, who has the best expertise to lead this project, while everyone collectively manages it. After that, then we present the proposal. And so it's a very quick and fast payment process. We're not waiting around to get paid at all. We are discovering, and we're diving a little deep, and then we're pre-planning the project, and we're saying, hey, does this look like what you want us to achieve for you? Yes, this is what we want us to achieve. okay, then money is exchanged immediately after that, because we don't, our pricing is presented after. But we make sure we get the proposal right before we present the pricing. And now I'm giving away game. Like, this is game that y'all supposed to be having when y'all on the team. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this, I don't mind giving, because you guys are part of my squad. You're either warm, or I feel, I have a good feeling about you. So, you know, there's a lot of game that can be gotten, you know, just from being on a team with me alone. Literally, I represent, an army of 300, when it comes to business. So you will learn so much from me. But the reason why I've gotten to the level that I'm at is because I'm always asking questions. I'm always learning. I'm taking risks, and I'm very explorative and innovative. And I said I was going to keep this short, but I am very passionate about this project. So anything that I put my time and energy into, it just calls me to want to bring the best out of it every single day. And that's ultimately my goal, is to refine, refine, refine until she fine. You know what I'm saying? Until she fine, until she break her necks. And that's what we do here. Refine until she fine. So suggested retainers, you guys can review in terms of my pricing concepts of how we'd be pricing our time, travel fees, because clients who will want to fly us out to meet us in person, and then my responsibilities in a nutshell. I'll have a ton more responsibilities than this, but I tried to sum it up as quickly as possible on one page. Because I value your time as well, and I expect, because I hold a high value for my time. Time equity is pretty much an optional retainer, so the cost of this is going to be $1,000 to enter into this team, provided that you meet my requirements and my standards for who I would feel would be a benefit to myself, this operation, and the other team members that we're going to be including you. So just because you have $1,000 doesn't mean you're automatically going to be accepted into this. I want to make sure that, before I accept your money and your investment, that this is something suitable for you, this is something suitable for me, and this is something suitable for my stakeholders, because I have multiple customers. I have myself, I have my family, I have my team, I have my tribe, and I have my connections, my network, and I have my clients, our clients that we will be sharing, to look out after. Yeah, so $1,000 upon entry, um, and that helps me with cost, and it helps me with administration and softwares, and it basically just makes this kind of mutually beneficial, because I will be doing a lot of work around the clock, behind the scenes, making sure that there's an easy pathway to success. So team equity, let's get into this. So this is an optional $250 a month retainer. And that basically is something that each individual team member has the option to pay per month. However, if they start, they have to commit to 6 months at least. If they start the retainer, they can't just, willy nilly pay it if they want to. Because ultimately the value of this is, even if you don't work on any projects at all, you can still get paid for being a part of the team, because you automatically get equity in any project that freaking comes through our funnel. You get equity in that, and you split that evenly amongst all team members who are also paying that retainer. And this is an example of passive income, and that's why, yeah, that's something I should have said. A big goal in my life is to generate passive income in as many streams as possible, and create those streams for others. And so this is why I think this is a very, important aspect. And our culture is going to be defined by our everyday behaviors. And so, I like to express my values through action. And I just find that's the best way to express, like, what you truly value is, through your actions. And your actions are no better than your systems and planning and your organization. So you got to get your thoughts right before you can act right. And then your decisions will be right and in the light. So this is where the money goes. Like I said, I'm just kind of like a mini baby kind of spot. This is like a cash flow statement for a 5-year-old right here, where the money goes. But I find that funny because, I think this is the most genius thing. It's like, making things very simple, very basic to understand. This is basically when a project comes in. We have 100% of the revenue, and then we subtract our expenses, and we pay out our performing consultants, which are our active consultants who actually did work on the project, either to source it, to bring it to life, to work with the lead, or work on the actual project itself. If you did anything or any kind of work on the project, you're splitting that, 60% of whatever that project revenue is. And then team equity was obviously the passive income thing that I mentioned. If you opt to pay the retainer and commit for 6 months. Um, so this might be for you if if you want to position yourself to make recurring cash flow, if you want to add more revenue streams and projects to your portfolio, if you want to consult successful individuals and families at a high level, if you would benefit from being a member of a private group of high value peers with amazing talent, if you would benefit from supportive business and life relationships, if you enjoy contributing, sharing, and learning and growing new challenges, if you are seeking an opportunity that will provide the resources you need to scale your existing business or career path. And then reality check, which is, this is not guaranteed to make money. You have to be comfortable with losing anything you put into this and not making any financial return on it. But what I'm ensuring is a definite gain of wisdom, knowledge, and learning experience. That's what I'm ensuring. I'm not promising any return on this. Although a return is very likely, we have to understand the reality that this could not even work out. This can completely fail. This can be a disaster. I won't let it be a disaster. I'm going to let it be a benefit, but in terms of financially. So don't proceed forward with me if you're going to miss your $1,000 or $4,000 that you would be spending over the course of the year to fund this turnkey business operation pretty much for you. Don't move forward with me, please, if you will miss that. And so there it is. So help me today, and I help you forever. I help you today and forever. But if you help me today, and I help you forever. So that's just facts with it. So thanks for watching. I didn't even plan for this to be a full-on presentation, but I just felt better, basically explaining this. And I invite all questions and concerns. You can call me or text me at 619-436-5258. You can email me at brianjflemingcompanies@gmail.com. That's brianjflemingcompanies@gmail.com. And I'm here. We can go from there. And after all of this, what the next steps look like, it's pretty much like a quick interview process, but it's not like I'm going to be hounding you or interrogating you. But I do need to, do a pat down. You know what I'm saying? I do need to just, make sure really quickly, hey man, this is what is happening. This is what I need. Is there anything you need from me in order to be successful? That's pretty much the conversation we would be having, how it will go. And I'm doing this to create value. I'm doing this to be a better man. I'm doing this to fulfill my mission, vision, and purpose in life. I'm doing this to protect and provide for my family. So I take this very seriously because I take my family very seriously. And so that's the level of strictness and organization that we're going to be having as a foundation. But we're going to have a high degree of flexibility in terms of how we're going to be able to pull off tremendous successes. And with that being said, I'm going to hop offline, and I appreciate your time here today. And thank you very much, guys.